business with this vendor for probably, I'm guessing, 40 years. They are from this would be the MBM Corporation, German run business, but their North American location is here in Charleston, South Carolina, not far from where I'm at, in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'd like to introduce Lindsay Hujsak. She's the CEO and president of MBM Corporation in Charleston, and it's great to have you here, Lindsay. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Brett. I'm absolutely excited to be here. I can't believe it's been that many years.
It's been a long time, and it's great to have you with us today because I know you're right at the forefront of this at MBM. Being a leader in print finishing equipment, folders, cutters, trimmers. So how does it come to be that you're in a security webinar?
It's a good question because we are known for our print finishing equipment, but we are also very well known for our Destroy It shredder line. And our manufacturer is located in Balingen, Germany, which you mentioned. And it was actually in the year 1952 is when they made their first strip cut shredder. And then following after that, they made their first cross cut shredder in 1959. So no matter what, paper shredders are number one, our manufacturing sales product that we're selling today.
So it's probably safe to say, since you're going back to 1952, that MBM is one of the original document security specialist companies in the world.
Absolutely. I mean, no matter what, at the end of the day, we're shredding paper. That's what we're doing. We're getting rid of that confidential paper. But what's changing in the world today is the standards of how the shred size needs to be cut. And basically, when it first came out, a security level P4 was perfectly fine. It's a cross cut that many people use, but now standards are starting to change. And depending on the type of business you're in, they might require a smaller cross cut when you get into a P5. And then when you get to the government level, we consider that a P7. The security standards are changing.
Yes. So you mentioned that a P4, P5. Can you explain a little bit in a little more detail what that means?
Absolutely. They're considered the international standards of security. This means it's a set of rules that determine how big that shred size must be to come up with the certain levels. And the international standards of security actually start at level 1 and they work their way all the way up to a P2. MBM sells, we start with a P2. They go all the way up to a P7, but a P2 is our strip cut. It would be only 4 millimeters wide. That's as low as we're going to go. We're not going to sell a P1. It's just not secure enough. Most people want a cross cut, and that will be a security level P4, and that measurement would be 4 by 40 millimeters, and then the P5 goes up to 2 by 15, and your government level P7 is 0.8 by 5.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
I was going to say. So once one of our resellers determines what their client is needing for security level, is that really all they need to know, or is there additional information they should be seeking?
No, that's not exactly the end. I mean, just because a shredder out there says, oh, we can do P4, P5, that doesn't mean it's a great shredder just because it's doing that level. It takes superior engineering and quality products to be making a shredder that's going to last as long as what our Destroy It shredders do. Basically, the smaller the shred size, the head must be made in a very tight tolerance with high quality steel that's set during the hardening process. If you're not using high quality materials and you don't have that tight tolerance, any imperfection will cause that head to break. And that's why they have all these cheap shredders on the market. Sure, it's a P4, it's a P5, but is it going to last? No, you're probably going to run out and have to get a new shredder by the end of that year.
So some of your shredders are built to last longer than others?
All of our shredders are, because they're all built with that same German quality. They're all built from our manufacturer in Balingen. We don't offer another line. Sometimes there's shredder lines out there that offer like a high quality line, but they also have a cheaper line mixed in. we don't offer a cheaper line when it comes to our Destroy It paper shredders. All of them are going to be the high quality Belgian made from the factory. And actually, I just visited the factory a couple of weeks ago, so I'm fresh off back from Germany. It's my voice is a little squeaky. But I was going through the plant and watching all the hands-on love and attention and detail that goes into every single shredder. I was just amazed how long it takes to build one of our shredders, and even the testing that goes into it to make sure that it's meeting those safety standards, the quality is there, because if along that production line, if it misses any of the tests, it's going to go back and it's going to get fixed. That's the quality you get with a Destroy It German-made shredder.
So obviously you have the quality. There's no doubt the German-made shredders, having done this myself for 25 years, I know the quality and I can speak for that. And we love reselling product. And one of the downsides, I guess, we don't sell as many replacement units because they do last so long. But one of the things we hear a lot about is these shredder trucks. We see the shredded trucks or whatever the brand is. We're seeing them everywhere. Is that something that helps, or where do you think? What would you say to someone who's one of our resellers that maybe is opposed or seeing opposition because of these shredding companies out there?
I would say run away from that shredding service. Unfortunately, shredding services are here. They're not going anywhere. But we all know the safest way to shred is to do it yourself. Don't hand your confidential documents off to a stranger for him to magically make it disappear, because you really don't know who you're giving it to. You don't know where they're taking it or when and if it was even shredded. And then I've noticed, like, when you use a shredded service, they leave these bins, and those bins are set around your building. Well, what happens when those bins are stolen or those bins are shaken upside? You can get the documents out of the bins if you really wanted to. And I'm sure we've all seen the commercials on TV where it's like a third-party shredding service is caught, and they have the confidential documents blowing around in the parking lot, and they're blowing out of the trucks. It can happen, folks. We're all human. They're taking your documents. They can lose them. They can get lost. They may or may not be shredded. So you have to be careful. So, and on top of that, I mean, it's obviously costing money to use that third-party service, which is going to be reoccurring every single year. And it's not going to stay the same price. It's going to increase. Over the years, you could have purchased a shredder. We'll get to that in a little bit too. But to me, shredding is fun. It's fast. It's rewarding, and you know that you've personally destroyed those documents and you've taken care of them safely, and they're gone. If you properly maintain your shredder over the years, you can get 10 to 15 years out of that shredder, which has a much lower long-term cost compared to a shredding service. Also, it's an eco-friendly type of device. I don't know if you know this, but the factory in Germany prides themselves on, if you were to take it apart, you can recycle all the different parts and pieces of that shredder. So it's made with sustainable products. The bin inside of it, you can choose to go bagless or not, so you don't have to use the plastic bin. The plastic bag that goes in it, so you can also save there, and it has the energy saver mode. So third-party service trucks are obviously out there burning diesel on the road. Bring it in-house. It's more secure, it's safe, and it's better for the environment.
So you're talking about lower cost, you're talking about eco-friendly, you're talking about the security aspect, keeping it in-house. People do love the convenience of those shred services. Do you think there's room for like both in a business?
I think there are, because I think there's two different types of documents. Let's say you have a bunch of marketing materials or brochures or magazines. Sure, give those to the third-party service to come quickly take care of all those old out-of-date catalogs. But at the end of the day, you still have financial information. You might have company memos, company emails that you've printed, sales figures. Those need to be taken care of by you at your desk. Put it in a shredder, not a third service truck. So there is room for both.
Can you tell our resellers are all looking for angles in which they can sell this? Can you tell them a little more, give any more suggestions about how this can lower costs?
Absolutely. Like I said, the third-party services, they start at one rate, but you're kind of locked into like an annual contract. Well, that rate's going to go up every single year. And on average, if you purchased a shredder to put in-house, you could have it paid off within 18 to 30 months. So in less than 3 years, you're done. You've paid off your shredder, and now you're not paying any reoccurring costs to use that third-party service anymore.
That's huge. In 3 years, they can continue, and then they don't have to pay anything after that. It's paid for itself.
Right, and it's secure. You know that your documents are taken care of and they're safe. They're not sitting around in a bin waiting for weeks or months at end to be collected by a stranger to be shredded. They're taken care of.
So what would, I mean, I think if there's a reseller on here that they're hearing this, they're hearing there's some potential now with some shredder sales.
Yeah.
What would be some suggestions and tactics maybe, and how they can get these sales now?
Absolutely. A lot of people think, well, paper's going away. There's not a lot of paper left to shred. There's tons of paper. And unfortunately, we still have paper today, and paper is going to be sticking around for a while longer. So just let your customers know how important it is to do in-house shredding, and how important it is to not just stop at the fact that, oh, it's a cross-cut shredder and I'm safe. Spend that extra money, get that quality shredder that you know is made with superior German engineering, and that way you know it's going to last for years to come, and your investment will be paid for.
We sure do appreciate it, Lindsay. Thank you for that information. I know that you and your team are here to help and walk our customers through any opportunities that they might have. And again, I do thank you for your time today and making this available. We also do have a handout as well for that have some of those security issues outlined, and could be helpful for our customers to sell to some of their end users as well. So I do appreciate you being here. I hope you can stick around. I'd love to have you in the green room for a little while, and as we get to our next guest.
Sounds good. Thanks so much, Brent.